All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's not an official episode, but this is gonna be our mock draft. Just us talking about the draft.
Hmm.
We got Taylor here who follows the draft a lot. I know you like the draft. I'm not really too
Love
much
it.
into it, so I thought it was in July, but so I haven't done too much looking into the players. It's in like an hour, right? I think it's
Yeah, so this is
an
like
hour. So
the
yeah,
latest
we're just
mock
gonna have
draft
you
right
take us
now.
through your mock draft. We're gonna have some fun with it. I'll just be asking you some questions about the players while you run through it, but yeah, just do
All right.
whatever.
I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna just do a lottery for today,
All right.
but uh, I'll mention players that I really like outside the lottery after I do my mock draft. Um, like late first round guys that. Well, I'll mention at the end, and then just ask me some
All right.
questions. The first pick, I mean, I think we both agree it's gonna be Cooper Flag.
Hey, but
So
before you move on with that, I wanted to ask you something particular about that. Um, how do you see this overall? And maybe we'll talk about this more when we get into trades. But could you see him? Like I know they have him listed there as a small forward. Do you see him playing the three, or do you think he's gonna, do you think his best fit's gonna be at the four? Because they're gonna obviously they have Anthony Davis, but I think they're gonna want to have Lively out there a lot. Do you think it'd be natural for him to slide to the three? What do you think about that?
I heard that in his workouts he was shooting the ball like incredibly well,
Hmm.
and they signed Gafford too, and they have Lively, so I see them not playing Anthony Davis at the five a lot. So I see him playing probably starting at the small forward and playing, most of those minutes at the small forward, and I kind of like that because it's just a huge lineup, and I think I personally think they're contenders once Kyrie's back. It's too bad he tore his ACL,
Yeah.
but they'll get. I guess my question for you, it doesn't revolve around the draft, is like, what's like a bridge point guard you'd like them to get like before Kyrie comes back?
Yeah, that's interesting. I know, because Tyus is still out there, right?
Yeah,
I know. I feel like that's one.
Chris
It's tough. 'Cause,
Paul.
what'd you say?
There's like Chris Paul, Lonzo,
Yeah, Chris Paul. Yeah.
Brogdon.
Bro, I think those are the th I would definitely stay with like either Brogdon or Chris Paul. But
Yeah,
I think I agree with you though. They're gonna be contenders. Uh, I would see it more happening. I think they're going to be a real threat in 2 years. Like not this year, but next year, just because Kyrie's going to be fully back, or
yeah.
what we believe fully back. Cooper Flag's going to be in his second year. We think they still have Anthony Davis. Obviously, we don't know. A lot of things can happen in a year with their whole
Hmm.
team, but Clay's just getting older. But if Clay continues to play at you know, uh, high level as he's been playing, and I think they'll be contenders. They just extended Kyrie too, right? They just
Yeah, they just
yeah.
extended him.
So
Uh,
be dangerous
PJ
though. Like,
Washington, I don't really.
yeah.
I don't. I see. I mean, I heard I looked up all the rumors. They don't want to trade him, but it seems kind of redundant because he probably not. He's a starting level player, and with Cooper Flag,
Hmm.
seems like he's probably not going to start no more. So I'm kind of interested in where he goes. But
Yeah.
I got Cooper Flag at one. At two, because Dylan Harper's the second best player in the class by far. He's like a number one pick level. Reminds me of a lot of Cade. But it's just like he's gonna go two. But it's just like I don't really love it because of Fox and Castle. So they have a bunch of guards. But I mean, I think Dylan Harper, they're gonna draft him because they probably view him as having a higher ceiling than Fox. They
Mm.
got Fox for like practically nothing, so they had to do it. But I just I wanted like when I was watching the lottery, I wanted like Washington or like one of those teams, maybe Brooklyn, get get Dylan Harper so they have like an established role. But I mean, him and Wemby, the Spurs have a crazy future. Do you see them making any trades or
I was just about to ask you the same thing. I feel like we would have seen it already, but I was literally about to ask you, do you see them making a last second trade? Um, I yeah, I think it would have happened already if we were gonna see it,
yeah,
but
I agree.
yeah.
I think I don't think there's no way they trade two unless it's Giannis because Dylan Harper, like
Hmm.
this level pick is just such like it has such high value. I heard
Yeah.
like Philadelphia's trying its best, but like the second and third pick is just so like there's such a difference that
Yeah.
I don't see them trading it. So Giannis, maybe Jaylen Brown, but like you said, I feel like we would have already seen it happen because we're
Hmm.
literally an hour away from the draft. So this is,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love Dylan Harper, 6'6" guard. like I said, reminds me of Cade, can just get to his spots. I'm gonna talk, yeah, just gets to his spots, has star potential. Um, Shot needs a little work, not like just off the pull up. His catch and shoot's really good. So it's gonna be interesting with I would love him and Castle, so if they trade Fox, I wouldn't mind that. But I think value wise, they're just gonna have to draft him and figure out, all the position stuff later.
Yeah.
Now the third pick, I know we talked about it a little bit. I mean, I know you're not crazy into the draft, but this is where the draft kind of starts.
Hmm.
Philadelphia, I'm not gonna do any trades in this. I think there might be some trades on draft night, but it's like because Ace Bailey doesn't want to go there. I think he's been kind of falling, even though I still think he's the third best player in the class. So I'm probably gonna take him here, even though
Okay.
I see rumors that VJ Edgecombe. I don't mind Con Knipple here, shooter, but I don't know. They're kind of in a weird spot because they have McCain, they have Maxey, they have Grimes. So I think Ace
Yeah.
Bailey's actually a really good fit at like 6'8", 6'9". I like
Hmm.
that 3 or 4, but he wants to become a star. So
To throw something in here, I honestly wouldn't mind Trey Johnson here. Especially, I mean, I was watching some podcasts and I mean, I heard some great things about him, just character
Mhm.
wise too. Some people
Mhm.
that got a chance to talk to him during his like workouts and stuff. Um, so I'm high on him. I think he's gonna be great. Uh,
But yeah, he's the fourth best player in the class for me.
yeah,
I
especially with, and
think
you
even
know, that
third.
whole ace, whether
Hmm.
it's true or not, I mean, that's just a crazy situation. I don't know. I just from the stuff I'm hearing, I don't know. I like everything I'm hearing about Trey Johnson, and obviously he has the talent as well. So I wouldn't.
We could.
That's who I would take at three. But
I I I guess it's kind of selfish because I don't want him to go here just because
hmm.
I want Trey Johnson to be like that. I kind of want him to go to Utah because it seems like they need someone like that. So maybe
Yeah.
I should draft like that because
Hmm.
Trey Johnson. I really love Trey Johnson. Um, so we'll take Trey Johnson at 3. You know what?
Yeah.
I like that. We'll take Trey Johnson at 3. At
Do
4,
do do you see the Spurs and anyway taking him?
no, Dylan Harper
No,
is the second best player in the
you think?
class.
Okay.
I yeah, I just think Dylan Harper. If anything, I think they would trade back because even Philadelphia.
Okay.
So, but I don't even. I think they're just gonna take Dylan Harper,
Okay. I like that Dylan Harper at three though to Philly.
and then I think maybe for a year and then maybe they flip Fox. I just because Dylan Harper, Stephon, and Wemby for years to come could be like crazy good. So I don't think they're gonna like, even though Fox is part of their future, I think they're not gonna draft
Yeah.
they're not gonna skip out on Harper for Fox. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
And then at 4, I think this fits perfectly. I love the fit here is VJ Edgecombe.
Okay.
Play that 2 spot with LaMelo. He can cut. I really like him. He's really good off the ball. His 3 needs some work. He doesn't have, I guess, the biggest bag,
Hmm.
but I think Charlotte has a glaring hole. He has potential. He can defend. Hopefully, I mean, I've been saying this for years. I think Charlotte's gonna be decent, and they don't. But I don't know him, LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and if they keep Mark Williams, that's not a bad starting
Yeah.
5.
I did see right before we hopped on that they're open to trading the pick. Like they're getting interest from a
Charlotte?
yeah.
Oh, I have not seen that,
I
but
saw that. I mean, it was from Bleacher Report, so I mean, I think it's pretty trustworthy. But Hornets open to trading the pick. Charlotte's number four pick gaining interest from teams targeting Bailey. So,
I can see that happen. I can see them trading down with like Brooklyn and then getting Con Knipple later.
mm,
I like that fit a lot too.
yeah,
Um, but I think if they stay here, or like we said, I don't know if we're gonna do any trades, but I like VJ Edgecombe here.
okay.
And then with the fifth pick,
Mm,
this is tough because I think Ace Bailey doesn't want to go here. I think he wants to go to Washington or Brooklyn. Um, but I think they have. I really like Isaiah Collier. I think he had showed some bright spots because I really like Jeremiah Fears too. But I don't know. I just feel like it's hard pick. I kind of want to go Noah Esenge, but that might be a reach because he has a lot of potential. But I'm gonna go Ace Bailey. I think he can be that number one option. I know he didn't want to work out with them, but I think Danny Ainge is the type of guy to say, you know what, I'm gonna just draft him because you know what, we need someone like that. Like he's
yeah.
the best player available. Him, Laurie. Kessler, with Collier, and I think if he can turn into that guy, that number one option like he wants to be, then this is a good fit for him. I don't know. I'm very up and down on my value with Bailey because like he has all the tools. Like that's why I think going to Philly would be good for him because he can play like that shooter, the defense. But it seems like he
Yeah.
wants to be like the star because his handle's not very great to create his own shot, but he is a tough shot maker. So it's like I don't know. I thought Philly would be good, but he doesn't want to go there. It seems like they're not that interested. So, but I like Utah for him.
Okay. Yeah.
Now six. Oh, we'll talk about it a little bit in the pod, but they just got CJ McCollum for Jordan Poole,
Yep.
and I honestly really like I don't know or I like that trade a lot just because it's a like, salary dump basically. CJ's last year, and I really like everything Washington's doing. It's too bad they didn't get a higher pick, but what did you think about that trade? Just maybe like quickly, just
Yeah,
talk.
we'll talk about it a lot more at the end,
Yeah,
but I liked it for both sides to be honest.
yeah,
But that's my initial thought. We'll talk about it more deeper
yeah.
after you get through your draft. But yeah.
But here I love the fit here is Jeremy Fears or
Okay.
Jeremiah Fears. He's he's a really young point guard. I loved everything I've seen. He looks like he can be a star. Like I don't know who I can compare him to because he's 6'4", work on his defense, but he has a lot of like just I don't know, like just he got a lot of like game to him, like sauce, like not like Darius Garland level heads and stuff, but he has like a bag, and he's like an actual point guard, I think, because they
Mhm.
have Bub, who's like more of a combo, but I
Yeah.
think he could be like their long term like star level point guard. I don't know the level, but he's one of my favorite players in the draft. So yeah. Now here with New Orleans, this is a weird spot because they're like a team that they kind of have everything. Like they have everything, but they also have a lot of nothing. You know what I mean?
I know who I would like here, but
Who would you like?
I would take Khan.
Yep, that's exactly who I was gonna pick.
Okay. And I was
Just
gonna
'cause-
actually I was gonna get to you on that point of th just like movement shooting
yeah.
specifically or shooting in general, but specifically just movement shooting. How just because I mean I feel like just because of how the NBA has gone in the past decade, just that and every single year it just gets more and more. That's just something that is super valuable. Just being able. That's why Desmond Bain went for like 5 firsts or 4 firsts.
Mhm.
Just because he's just not only a great shooter, just but like he's one of the best movement shooters in the NBA. How do you think that how much do you think that'll affect players in like this draft, for instance, like Khan here, taking him like potentially this high? Like you could even say like Corey Kispert back when he went, just because of the sniper he was. Um, yeah.
I think the beauty with Khan is like they drafted Jordan Hawkins like a couple years ago. They got Trey Murphy. They have shooters, but I think he's more than like a Jordan Hawkins, Corey Kispert.
Hmm.
It's like when Cooper Flag got hurt, he was like kind of the primary ball handler, and we saw that like. And he's not going to be like a number one run the whole offense, but when he needed to, he ran the offense. He's not crazy athletic, but like he has a little bit of ball handling and a little bit like more than just being a movement shooter, but he also has the movement shooting. So I just don't see him like being a bad basketball player. Like I don't like he has a super high floor basically. Like
Yeah. The
at
I think
at the least he can.
my question was kind of just how do you see him? I don't want to say the word inflated, but just because of all that, those traits, which is something that's one of the most valuable things in the league right now. Do you see him even potentially like that making his stock even higher tonight? Or
Oh, you're saying as like there's the importance of shooting in the
yeah,
league.
and movement, shooting, just like you said, even
Yeah.
he can do just more than that too. It's just, but specifically the one trait that he's just that he's great at is one of the most important things in the NBA. Just like you could say like a left tackle is just super important in football after the quarterback.
Yeah, that's why I mean I that's why like I saw mocks where he went three to Philly or
That's what
like
I was saying. I'm wondering if you think teams would, be
or
like if he could go that high.
yeah, like three and I even saw four to Charlotte. Like those are like I wouldn't mind Charlotte getting him at four just because like you said,
Mm.
it's so important. It's so like shooting's just something that like there's no like downside of having it. Like every team, even teams
Yeah.
like I feel like they have a lot of shooting with Jordan Poole, Hawkins. Trey Murphy, but it's like you can always use more shooting, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
It's not like a like some maybe like an athletic wing that doesn't have the best shooting. It's like you can have maybe one or two per roster, but like you can't really play a lot of those guys. So where shooting is just,
Mm.
I think we're looking at the NBA as more like what can fit, and their primary player, Zion is someone who needs spacing. So yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I like think that shooting is just going to be a premium.
Yeah.
And there's a couple shooters, but there's not. I want to say there's that many. There's what's his name? His name is. There's also the guy that played with Cooper Flag in high school, Liam McNeely. There's like Walter Clayton, Jace Richardson, but
Yeah. I
at the top, it's not all
I
shooters.
just asked because it looks like, I mean, obviously that's valuable. Just but just in the finals, I feel like that was just shown to be just so valuable. Like even, like Neesmith, even
Mhm,
Dort catch and shooting. There was just you just have to be able to catch and shoot, especially if
mhm.
you have your number one, just like Shea, driving, drawing double, triple teams, just the kick outs, the outlets. You just have to be able to just shoot off the catch, off the movement. That's just one of the it's like gonna be a baseline in NBA from now on. You just have to be able to do that.
Yeah, I like yeah, you saw that exactly with Indiana. Like they
Yeah.
have all shoot Boston, all
Mhm.
shooters.
Yeah.
Um, but for Brooklyn, is there any guy you like here? Or I
I
like Watch here, to be honest.
okay.
I just
Hmm.
I really like him in Toronto and Phoenix next, but I feel like if he falls this late, I just don't see Brooklyn just with especially with like the Claxton rumors, them maybe getting multiple firsts for him. Watch is just like a safe, like developmental
Hmm.
center that even if they don't trade Claxton, just having that, I just love it for Brooklyn. They have 5 picks, so I was gonna say maybe get a Senge, but I think he might be able to fall later. So I'm just this kind of the safe option.
I don't hate it. I just to be honest, once after we get past the first couple picks, I really just don't think this draft's really too top heavy. Or I don't think it's like I think a lot of these guys are gonna turn out to be great, just NBA players filling their role and stuff. I don't, but you know, I don't
Yeah,
really see a lot of these guys being high end like stars though.
I
But
see. I say for star potential, like of course Cooper, Dylan
oh
Harper.
yeah, once we get
Yeah,
past those couple though.
I think after like 6, you're right.
Yeah, that and
I
that's
think
one of the things why where that shooting comes into play because even if he doesn't turn out to be a superstar like Khan can just the ability the things that he can offer to a potential championship contending team or a
yeah,
team that like wants to go in that route it could be super valuable to the point where it's just really valuable but
yeah. That's I actually completely agree. I think the first 6 picks all have pretty good star potential, but
yeah
like after that, I see a lot of good role players, but yeah, not.
yeah
I mean, there definitely will be like we say that, and like there's probably gonna be one star that pops up that we don't know about, but
Mhm.
just from looking at it now, like I think you're drafting for like like what's it called? Come on and center rim run, catch lobs, block shots, like a Clint Capella, and then Khan, movement shooter.
Mhm.
I can do a lot. So like two, I'd say really good role players right there. At 9, um, I've, I mean they love wings, Toronto, and I think Kaman would have been really nice because they kind of need a backup big for Poto. Derek Queen is an option. He's kind of like a Sabonis, kind of like a not a great defender, but he's so much skill for a big. I'm really kind of torn on Queen because I really like him, but it's also like he's one of those players that's kind of like a weird fit.
Mhm.
But I think I'm going Carter Bryant here.
Okay.
Uh, he averaged only 6 points at Arizona, or I think it might have been like 5. Right here it says 6, but he's 6'8". He has good shooting. He shot 40% from three. Um, he kind of just is like like a perfect 3-and-D type guy, and then even has the potential like if he has a bigger leash that can maybe be even more because he has a decent handle. He has just like the perfect NBA body and just like the thing that like the Raptors, it seems they love these wings.
Yeah, no, they do.
So I don't see them passing up on Carter Bryant unless there is like a come on or someone else that falls. Now 10, I feel like this is like one of the most important picks because this is kind of like their whole trade package. Like if this doesn't hit for KD, the KD trade, it's like
Yeah.
I think they would have loved come on like at 10 because they need a big. That's why there's still Derek Queen, but it's like I don't know. Do you want Derek Queen going 10, like not a defensive center with D Book? And I've been kind of going. There's not really. I think they can use a point guard too, but there's not really a point guard that I love. I know Kasparis, but I don't know. I'm not the highest on Kasparis. He's good. He's got good size for a point guard, but I don't love him next to Booker. I really love Thomas Sorber. This just might be a reach. I don't understand how he's not higher. He had a really good season. He hurt his foot. I really want to take him at. I think that might be my wild card. I really like Colin Boyles here. He's like a he has not many he's like a four that his shooting's not the best, but he's like has a high ceiling. It's like can kind of be like a 4-5, like a kind of like a Draymond John Collins. I don't know, something like that. But I'm gonna take a big reach on Thomas Sorber here. I just think they need a big, and I'm just a lot higher. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Khalil Ware, so I'm gonna take Thomas Sorber. 11. Oh yeah, and then we'll talk about it a little bit after too. But they made a trade.
Yeah.
Um, so I think, do you think? I mean, we'll talk about it later, but do you think it's just in this draft and like in their offseason they're trying to win next year? Is that what you believe?
Uh, it would be if they. That's the question. I don't know because I'm still interested to see if they're gonna just trade Drew Holiday or if they're planning on keeping him. I guess
Yeah,
I mean they're going this real defensive route. I mean, because we
yeah,
especially at the tail end of last season what we saw from them. But so I mean, it's hard for me to think that they'd be any close to competing though, even with keeping Drew. But
yeah.
but yeah. Um,
Because they have guards, they have their bigs, and I think they do want to go this defensive route. I'm gonna get Noah Senge here. He's just can he just has so much potential. You don't really need to play him right away. They have Tumani Kamara, but it's just I feel like it's just such a good piece to have. Um, I know they can go maybe Kasparis, Igor Dimin, some tall guards that can play make, but I would just give, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Drew Holiday, but they still have Scoot. I don't think they're gonna go another big. I know because they have Klingon, Aiden. I heard that maybe they get Derek Queen, but
hmm.
I don't like it. I like Noah Senge here. 12 Chicago. I heard some rumors about them too. Maybe they get our guy Kaminga on him. May do you think because the East is everyone thinks they have a chance in the East, and every
Yeah.
year they're like the 7 through 10. Do you think they're gonna are they gonna try to make a run, or are they gonna finally realize like, hey, we're not that good. Let's tank.
You talking about the Bulls?
Yeah, the Bulls
Uh, I honestly I could see them as a team trading up
traded
potentially.
up.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously depends on how the draft falls, and I think it also depends on how much these teams really value second round picks now, you know?
Yeah,
Just because you know how many the NIL is just changing a lot of things, but
yeah.
so I think second round picks kind of diminished in value a lot,
hmm
but so we'll see. I think the East. I think a lot of these teams are gonna go and try to compete though. But-
Oh, why am I going through my text? Um, uh, yeah. I really like Derek Queen here because they need a big. I don't think Vucevic is part of their plans like that. And I don't know. This is one of the fits where you think he can get minutes. He has kind of some star potential. And if they surround him with, Giddy kind of plays fast. They don't really have that many shooters. But I don't know. I like Derek Queen here. I also like how can I go back? I also like Asa Newell can be a lob threat. But I think you just can't let Derek Queen slide past this. So I'm gonna take Derek Queen here. And then the Hawks, we'll talk about them after too. I really love their trade. I think they can be we'll talk about more, but I think they can be a
Yeah.
contender in the East. I know the health is whatever scary, but you have Big O at the backup five with for Kristaps. So I think you try to get it ready now, like a forward, and I really like Cedric Coward here. He's like a shooting guard, 3 and D. He's rising up draft boards. I love him at this spot. I heard they also want Nickeil Alexander Walker,
Does
so I really like what they're doing. So
does
I'm gonna get.
this show you like their picks that they have, like all their picks or no? Like
Uh, well, I know they trade the 22nd pick
okay.
for Kristaps. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or to just to see all their future picks and stuff too. I don't think this would show that.
Oh,
I was
can I go back? Let me see.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't. It's okay. It's just yeah. We just keep going.
I know they lost some picks with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Dante, but they got some back with the
yeah.
Destin Daniels, which was a good. At 14, is there anyone you like here, Braden, or I don't I don't know what they because right here I feel like there's like a pick where like they have their point guard. I kind of like Colin Murray Boyles here. Just like a four that can play next to Wemby defensively. Rasheer Flemings, I don't mind. I don't think they go Kasparis or Igor Demin. I'm gonna go Colin Murray Boyles for the last pick. So this is kind of the lot. This is our lottery mock draft. Let us know what you like, you don't like, what you would do differently.
Do you think the Spurs are making both of these picks? I'm just
I
because they have so many young, talented players, or their depth in terms of just the talent that they have. You know,
yeah,
besides they do have some high-end players besides Wemby, but
yeah.
I don't know. I feel it kind of hard to believe that they're gonna make both of these picks. I don't know.
I I know that's why I think the KD trade wouldn't have been bad because yeah, like I don't feel like you're right. Like they don't need all these. They still have
Mhm.
Sohan,
Yeah.
Wesley, Keldon Johnson,
Hmm.
or it's like same like as Brooklyn. Like they don't need to make 5 first round picks. So I
Yeah.
see a lot of trading. Um, but I mean, if I don't know, I don't know. I feel like if maybe if they have a guy there that we don't know about, that's like their guy 14,
Yeah.
then
That's a
maybe
good
they
point.
just
Yep.
yeah, they're like yeah, we'll just take that.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about the trades real quick?
Yeah. Let's do it. Yep.
Um, we'll start off with the what was the first one? It was the Anthony Simons Drew Holiday one.
Yep.
What would you grade it for both sides?
Oh, well, I love this. For this, I think hold up, sorry. I think I would give it an A for the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the Blazers, I don't. I mean,
I'll stop sharing.
I'll give it I mean, I'll give it a B plus. It honestly depends on what they do with Drew. Um, I don't know though. For the main side of this for me though was I love it for the Celtics. You know, you got a player on an expiring contract. Obviously this is kind of like a reset, retool year. Tatum's not going to be there, so I think I think Anthony Simon is actually going to fit great in their system. Their point of attack, downhill driving kick,
Mm-hmm.
kind of system. I think he's going to do really well. He obviously has just great talent, it's just the inconsistencies with him is the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you mean if it ends up not working, he's on a 1 year deal. If it ends up working great, you just have a whole bunch of options. You could trade him at the deadline. Uh, you could, I don't know, I guess maybe potentially resign him if you like what you see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think in a year where this could kind of keep them competitive in a to a certain extent in a year where the East is weak, and also just they're taking advantage of a unfortunate situation where the Tatum's out. And I think they can learn a lot.
Yeah, I thought maybe they would have to attach picks to trade Drew
Yeah.
Holiday, but I'd give it
That
A.
that part too. Yeah.
So I just I mean, the second round picks don't mean much, but
Yeah.
I think it's basically a year off for Boston. They got Anthony Simons. Maybe they could boost his stock and then trade him for like a first or something. So
Mhm.
I really like it for them.
Well, because it's just, yeah, like you said, boosting his stock. Because I mean, he's had games where I mean he goes off for 40 points, 30
Hmm.
points, and it's just super explosive. And I mean, in a place like Boston, just a way bigger market than Portland, like when he has those type of games, everyone's gonna be going crazy, you know. And it'll keep their fan base alive a lot. And yeah, I mean, I just like it because you get off the Drew Holiday, which they're gonna have to do, because of the timeline. And I
Hmm.
mean, you just have so many options with what you can do with them, depending on how things turn out, you know. But
Yeah, so I give, and a lot of people hate it for Portland. I really don't hate it too much, to be honest. Um,
yeah.
just because I think they didn't want to extend Anthony Simons, let Scoot kind of have it. And
Hmm.
I don't know if they're gonna flip Drew for more. I don't know if they'll be able to,
Yeah.
but I think worst case, I think he'll be a good like mentor and he could fit better. Just because he can play defense, he's not gonna need the ball like Anthony Simons.
Mhm.
So I mean, I won't say I love it, but I don't hate it as much as other people. Other people. Now, the second one was
Celtics
the
again.
the Porzingis one.
Oh, I was just gonna stay on the Celtics. It's up to you though, whichever one you want to go to.
Uh, or you were gonna go to the stay on the Celtics?
Yeah, I was just gonna stay on them, but it's up to you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can stay on the Celtics.
Yeah. Um. I mean, once again, I mean, I like the trade for Boston just in because I mean, we knew they were trying to just get off of them,
Hmm.
especially in the year. Like we already talked. It's kind of similar. We're just, I mean, they're just in this purgatory type of year. So get off the contract. I, I mean, that's the main part for me. But we'll see if yeah.
Yeah, the Boston. I mean, we can flip that to the Porzingises. They just did a good fire sale. They're under the second apron.
Yeah.
Um, do you see them trading Derek White or Jaylen Brown?
I mean, I've seen a whole bunch of rumors, which is the most interesting thing.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen a whole bunch of rumors of, I mean, I saw we're interested in Derek White too, but
Oh, the
I,
Warriors?
oh, I don't know. That was a TikTok video, but
Uh,
yeah, yes, I don't know how reliable that was, but
they probably are, but it's
no, they
like I
they
don't
put a
think
lot of reliable stuff in it, and so I just know a lot of teams are pursuing both, but I really, I'd
I
be
would love
kind of,
Derek White.
I'd be kind of surprised if they trade Jaylen Brown unless they just get an absolute haul. I mean, like you
Yeah.
talked about this on the last pod. I mean, if you get an offer that you just can't refuse for these
Yeah.
type of guys, like you're probably taking it. But so I don't really see them moving off either unless they get just a great package, a great deal, you know? Because I think these are two guys that still fit the timeline when Tatum gets back, and they're both two extremely high end players, you know? Um. And we'll see Jalen. This is gonna be Jalen Brown's first year as a one, so or the solidified number one. So we'll see.
I think if they get off for Dylan Harper, that the Spurs, the second pick, I think if I'm Boston, I'm taking that. But
Hmm.
I'm also just really high on Dylan Harper. Um, and their Porzingis trade, we can change to that. They didn't get much. Like they got Georges Niang and a
I,
second.
I heard there's another TikTok videos. Celtics got their new Tatum. You know.
But I like Georges Niang, so no hate on Georges Niang, bro. I don't get Celtics fans are pressed, but I don't think
Yeah.
like you weren't getting much more. Like
Yeah, you weren't gonna get that
Porzingis
much,
might have.
especially with all the AIDS rumors too.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You
he had
know.
eight. He played 20 games.
Yeah. But
You weren't
no, it
you
was
weren't
mainly
salary dump.
the injury stuff. But yeah, yeah.
I love it for the Hawks though, because they gave up Terrence Mann,
Yeah, I mean, if you can
Jordan
stay, the,
Niang.
the main thing is just can he stay healthy? But
I think even if he doesn't, it's not like they gave up too much, you know?
I guess, but I mean, you're doing this just because I mean they're obviously trying to contend, you know, with the
Yeah.
East. Yeah, but
I think if he can stay healthy, it's perfect fit,
yeah,
space the floor. So I give it like a B plus for the Hawks. Probably
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
like a B minus for the Celtics and like
Mhm.
I mean, like I because the Nets just got a first just for taking on salary, so
Yeah.
they get at least a B plus. So I really like this trade, though. I'm excited for Atlanta. I think, like I said in the East, I think they're contenders, especially if they're able to get like a Nikhil Alexander Walker. They can draft someone that can play right away. Then they have a nice starting five and
Hmm.
Trey Young, Dyson, Ricochet, Jalen, Porzingis, Big O off the bench.
Hmm.
I like what they got.
All right, you want to move on to the Jordan Poole.
Yeah, you started off because I'm still kind of like I want to see what your thoughts on it.
All right, I'm gonna pull up exactly. I mean, the picks don't. Hold up.
It was like they swapped seconds, so I don't
Yeah,
think it
no,
was
I want to
crazy.
see that. My first reaction was, well, when I first saw the headline, the first thing that I liked was I loved it for New Orleans.
hmm
The, I mean, because I think Jordan Poole's kind of turned into, for all the things we said about, I think he's kind of underrated at this point. I mean, he was in Washington for 2 seasons where no one's really cared about that. So even
hmm
though in the playoffs, the last time we seen him, he was just horrible, just because liability on defense, just a bunch of just horrible turnovers. I think um. I think he's gonna thrive with the Pelicans and just all the players that they have around him. I mean, they got just a plethora of shooters. I mean, if they end up getting Con today too,
Yeah.
especially Zion, we're presuming he's gonna be healthy and just back to his form. I love it. I love him there. And they get another young player, and um, I don't really know how I feel about. I mean, like you said, they got off his contract, which is a good thing.
hmm
So just I've always been a fan of CJ. I mean, he's getting up there in age. I'm sort of indifferent about him right now with the
I
Wizards.
think they just did it as a salary move. Just
Yeah.
so I don't. I guess they didn't want Jordan Poole. I liked it for the Wizards because now they have a bunch of cap. They
Hmm.
have the OGs like him, Middleton, Smart
Hmm.
to kind of mentor the young guys. That's what I like about it. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm as high on Jordan Poole as you are, if I'm being completely honest. And it is good because he has the shooting around Zion, but I don't know. I just don't know if I trust Zion's health. And
I
it's
think
just
for the regular season it's going to be great. I mean, because remember when Steph went out? I mean, Jordan Poole can carry a team in the regular season to at least be competitive in a lot of games.
you
So
think so?
I think so. Like I think they're not going to be. Obviously, they were dead stock. They were horrible last year. Just a lot of. I mean, they were a bunch of their players were always out. Zion was out, but
Uh,
I think they're going to be. You know, I don't think they're going to be tanking.
who do you because they have a lot of stuff, like
Yeah.
who do you have starting for them, like when fully healthy?
Hey, we'll get back to what we were saying about the starting five, but I just saw a trade happened.
Oh, I did not see that.
The Spurs, Pacers making a trade. San Antonio sending number 38 to Indy for a future second round. Oh, okay. Wasn't that? Yes.
I,
I thought it was gonna be more serious once I saw the Spurs were in it. Because we just talked about that.
yeah.
Um, I think it's interesting because do when do we assume DeJounte's back? A year? Because he got hurt in January.
I thought am I tripping? I thought he got hurt like the first game of the season. I might be
No, no,
tripping
no.
then.
I remember it. He got hurt in January. It was late. I'm pretty sure it was late January too.
Oh, then they'll
Like
probably
about
just start Poole,
it'll be pool.
Murphy, Herb
Mhm.
Jones, Zion, and Misi.
Okay.
And then right, I think. And then
Yeah.
once DeJounte's back, then someone's probably gonna be injured by then.
Okay.
If we're being honest, in New Orleans,
Who I think it's some kind of I don't want to say disappointing, but I thought Bruce Brown was gonna have once he got I thought he was gonna have a way bigger impact. I mean, I guess
is he still on the Pelicans?
yeah, I guess they weren't really competing for anything last season, so and he was hurt a lot too, but so I
I
mean
know.
maybe if everyone's more healthy, and he's healthy that he'll kind of
I think after Denver, he was a little bit, or after he got his bag, he was pretty disappointing to me. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the Pacers,
Yeah.
and then he got traded for Siakam. He didn't really do much in Toronto,
Yeah.
and then he didn't really do much in New Orleans. So
Yeah.
maybe he's a Jokic merchant. I don't know.
Well,
He's a
that
good
was
player.
just. I mean, he didn't really have to do much out of his role there, which he could just thrive in, you know?
Yeah,
'Cause that was their championship year. It was I mean, because of yeah, Jokic, Jamal, Aaron, like that was just a dominant team. But
yeah,
and shout out, I mean, he had some fourth quarter clutch, like he won them a game. But I remember watching that live, but I mean, so not to discredit him or anything, he literally closed out a game for them, couple of them in the finals. But
yeah. No, he was
yeah,
phenomenal. That was
he was
like,
hooping. But
that's why he was a big like loss for them. But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The Pelicans have talent. It's not like a lack of talent. It's more just
yeah.
injuries, which is kind of messing them up, which is too bad. And then, I wouldn't even say fit because this year they have so much shooting around Zion. So it just can they stay healthy? The
Yeah.
West is also just loaded. So
Hmm.
we'll see. And then yeah, we'll see. And if they get Knipple too, yeah, they'll have
Yeah.
shoot on shooting.
But like you said, you can never have too much shooting.
Exactly. Yeah. They still have Jordan Hawkins.
Yeah.
They have, I
So
guess maybe they can use another.
they could be a dangerous regular season team, like 40 wins.
They can get 45 wins. It's just Zion.
Okay,
Like
40. Bro, 45 is pushed. Wait, let me.
they can get 45 wins. Bro, the only reason they're
5 is
so
like,
bad,
yeah, I guess. I mean, 45 is pushing playing though.
I think
But
I
let
don't know.
me.
I just think the West is gonna be like they could be. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they will be because I don't like predicting anything, but it just seems like
Yeah,
someone's gonna get in. I don't trust Zion to play, but
I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's just.
healthy Zion could get you 45 wins if he
Yeah.
plays 60 games. But
Well, because Memphis was at 48-30, 48-34. We were 48 and 34. Those were the eighth and ninth or seventh and eighth seeds. 48 wins.
so
That-
yeah, I can
That's
see
why
them.
that number just seemed high to me. And I'm
Yeah,
high. I mean, we just talked about I'm high on them in the regular season, but even 45 seemed high to me.
yeah. I'm not really high, but like I see their talent.
Yeah.
It just seems like every year they're kind of like they have so much talent, and then their top guy,
Well, it's literally just because Zion.
yeah,
I mean, if
exactly.
Zion's out, it kind of everything just all gets you just throw everything away. But
Yeah, and I just don't trust. I don't know. I've heard Jeff Teague say like he's gonna retire in 2 years, like, and he was hating, but I kind of like it's like it gets to a point, where it's like I have to see it for a couple seasons. Zion play healthy, but like he
yeah,
had one healthy year, and then in the Lakers, what was it? The play-in, he was going crazy and then got hurt. So it's like
yeah,
it's not. It's I guess it's not his fault. His just his he's a hella big and he's hella athletic. Like that body type is just
yeah,
not ideal.
yeah. What do you make of the Luka rumors? Did you see him about him losing a bunch of weight or losing weight? I don't know if it said a bunch, but
I
take
hope I
down.
was watching his what's it called? His like his rookie year highlights. He looks so different. Like he's
Oh,
like
dude, when he was
dunking.
dunking and stuff.
That's so
Or
weird. Like
I mean, you could just tell he was so much slimmer, and then just
yeah.
his whole frame was different.
I mean he got better of course, but it's like I feel like if he stayed that way, it would just
Yeah,
been crazy. I don't yeah. Maybe I don't know if I'll ever be like that again, but we'll see. I just think he needs to just defensively. He can't be that bad
yeah.
defensively.
Well, what do you? I'm gonna ask a question. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. I just gotta go grab something. But what do you think of, because there's certain players, it seems like they like kind of play themselves in the form in the beginning of the season.
Um,
Like, what do you think about that? And I'll be right back. Just talk.
yeah. People playing. I mean, I know Jokic does that, but Jokic is like Jokic, he's the best player in the world. I guess every player kind of does that in some sort of way, but it's just it's just I feel like I was saying just how like Jokic kind of does that,
Yeah.
but
Well, I think Jamal does it too. That's the main
Jamal
thing.
does that.
It's just
I
it's
mean,
just a
every player.
lingering. It's just
Yeah,
you could get some like Jamal's had a bunch of lingering injuries because of it, I think.
yeah.
And yeah, and I mean, because then they'll just keep building on each other because you can't fully get healthy or fully recover from it, and it just sucks. So I mainly asked that to say, do you think, because with all the ACL injuries, I mean Achilles and
Hmm.
stuff, like do you think there's like a big problem with just, obviously it could come back to just how many games they're playing, but do you think just the strain they're putting on their bodies, like, because they're working out so much in the off season, just their whole lives, the wear and tear they've been putting on their body, and just I don't know,
Um,
it's just because what there was like nine Achilles.
it was like 8. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was just. I know I was talking about with my dad. Is like because back then or whatever they didn't have that. It's just because like everyone's played like 10 AAU games like a weekend,
Yeah.
like
Well, but it's also just the
EYBL,
movement too, but.
and then also the movement. Like they weren't doing step through side steps back then. Like all that type of stuff.
I wanted to ask you about the negatives or what everyone's calling like, the negative step. That's like seamlessly like
Yeah, yeah. The negative, bro. I'm
that's
literally like,
killing everybody. Like, bro, it's literally
I
every
know
single one of them. Like, it's literally because the negative step. But am I tripping or if I felt like that's just always something that people have done? Like, that's just a natural,
it's a natural
not
movement.
natural for the body, but I feel like that's just been a natural kind of move everyone's always done. Or am I tripping?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. I'm so even when I play basketball, I'm paranoid when I do that. But it's like,
But well, you've had an injury though, so.
yeah. Even back then though, I feel like they did that step.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's always been something. Like
I
not
think
natural for the body per se, but I feel like that's always been something natural that happens all the time. But
I think the Achilles thing is just like every single person that had it had like a calf strain and then they rush back when it's
hmm
like I think now if someone has a calf strain, I think they're gonna like wait months or like when they're 100% healthy because like literally had a calf strain, KD,
yeah.
uh Lillard literally had a blood clot in his calf and rushed back.
Yeah. Well, to that point, I mean, remember Luca had a calf injury and then he was
Uh-huh.
out for like 2 months this season. Remember that before he got
I'm
traded?
saying he
Yeah.
took his time.
Yeah, he took his time, but
Like, it was like,
obviously with the Hallie one, like you can't fault him at all, to be
yeah,
honest.
no, it was game 7,
I
yeah.
know Kendrick Perkins, I saw that thing where he was telling him to sit out, but
Yeah.
it's game seven. Like
Because
that must have sucked. I mean, we'll never know because we don't know. Like, I wonder how much of that might have been in his head. Not the Kendrick Perkins things, but just like, you have this calf thing, you've been playing on it. It's just like I wonder how much mentally it's just like you think it's gonna pop and then.
I think everyone like in the world is like every NBA player is playing in that situation because it's like because he had those nine
Yeah.
points and say
Yeah.
they won, he would have been like he would have felt like I did my what it's like
Oh, you're
everyone.
you're you're 100% playing. I'm just wondering how much do you think that can get in your head so much though? Just like you're just like, oh, like I know it's gonna pop this game or like there's because it
Well,
seems
because
like once you have a calf injury, it's like you play like a lot like that. It's just gonna happen.
it seemed like it because in game 6 he played well and then he
He
started
wasn't
off
really
hot.
moving the same like
Yeah, it seemed like he was just yeah, it was definitely like KD. I feel like it was definitely like remember he was taking like all jumpers and making those in those finals.
Oh
But
yeah,
for
he started off hot too. Yeah.
hot, like same with Tyrese. Like I feel like they're not gonna try to go for like a dunk, but it's like it's that whatever that backward step. It seems like it gets all of them.
But that's what I feel like that's just a natural quote natural in terms of just movement. Like not body like obviously that's not natural on your body, but
Yeah,
feel like people do that all the time? I feel like that's always been something.
yeah. I think the one thing they'll just notice is like the calf strains. They're gonna take them so serious now
Yeah, yeah,
and like just make them sit out for hella long.
yeah, yeah. It sucks, but
Yeah,
yeah,
part of the game, but it is sucks.
yeah. That's crazy though. But do you think, I mean, do you think shoes play into any part of it? Just any of the wear and tear? Like not obviously not the injury, but just anything?
I was I don't know if it's like the low because I think Tatum was wearing high tops. So I don't know if it's
Yeah.
low tops or high tops. Maybe I guess that's why I was thinking like the movement, like people are doing step through side steps, like crazy stuff with their body
hmm
that they weren't, doing, I guess, in the 80s or, 90s or 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it might just have to do with wear and tear, like kids are playing since they're, you know, AU games, all those games.
Hmm.
And then I'm not like a sports science, so I'd have to probably learn more, but I think it just has to do with all that wear and tear.
Yeah.
Uh, because it's like they used to play 82 games a season, so it's like
Yeah.
I think players might just start playing like the Kawhi stuff. People used to get mad at him, but I think people can't get mad if, teams are treating their superstars like Kawhi just to
Mm.
because like having an Achilles or ACL and you're out a year is just like it just messes it just
Yeah.
messes franchises up, you know?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, it puts you like 2 years back.
Exactly,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
Because the whole year's wasted and then the next year it's like I don't know, it's like
Kind of that return year.
yeah, return
Yeah.
year. And then I would say, yeah, exactly, 2 years back.
It puts you 2 years back. Yeah. But I mean, hopefully everyone that had it bounced back stronger. I mean,
Yeah.
you always want to say that, but it's just, I mean, you really never know with these type of injuries. We hope they do, but I don't know. It's kind of unpredictable.
I think modern like health and science is
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're young. Like Katie came back good. I
Hmm.
trust Tatum and Tyrese, especially because Tyrese just relies so much on just like his IQ, shooting and stuff.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think I mean hopefully they're 100%. They seem like they'll come back still stars and stuff.
Yeah. 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 But man, what was that? I was gonna ask something else. Do you have any other things you wanted to talk about?
Um, no, I'm just excited for the draft. I mean, this summer maybe we'll have more guests on because we have to
Hmm.
need to talk about stuff, some like rankings, top players of all time.
Hmm.
Let us know, just because like there's definitely gonna be rumors and all, but there's not gonna be games to talk about, so we can do like kind of fun stuff like rankings, debates, and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. All right.
all right, it's good.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed this. We can, if you want, we could also, if anything major happen, we could do a post draft
Yeah,
video too. But and just give our thoughts on that. But other than that, that's all we got for you
thank
guys
you.
today. See you guys.
Bye-bye.